Hey everyone, thanks for checking this video out. You can find me here on Rumble. You can find me on YouTube. Hopefully they'll let this video stay. They usually pull all my videos, but I'll upload it to YouTube anyway. So thanks for clicking on over. I'm going to talk a little bit about Balenciaga, and I'm sure unless you've been living under a rock, or maybe you know, maybe you don't know. I don't know what people pay attention to anymore. But Balenciaga is a very big, high-end sort of fashion house. Kim Kardashian is one of their models. I mean, which is funny because Kim Kardashian isn't really a high-end fashion model like her sister, but I think that she just always wanted to be one. But when you're 5'4", I think that doesn't quite meet the criteria, but what the heck? I mean, she's joined with them, and I think their sales have gone up. But now their sales are going to go crashing down if anyone has any sense at all about them, because they've recently done some ads, and I'm sure everyone has seen these pictures. They're called Gift Shop. It's the part of their gift shop campaign, and they feature children, in, I wouldn't even say these are provocative pictures. I would say they are quite disgusting and abusive. So let's have a look.
In case you somehow missed the huge scandal that's currently rocking the fashion world, the celeb favorite luxury fashion house, Balenciaga, is facing major backlash over a controversial ad campaign featuring children. In early November, Balenciaga shared new photos from their gift shop ad campaign on Instagram, and to say these photos were disturbing would be a huge understatement. The ad campaign showed children holding teddy bears dressed in bondage, surrounded by candles, creepy-looking toys, empty wine glasses, and Balenciaga accessories. One photo shows a children's drawing of a demon in the background, and on the floor there's a roll of Balenciaga yellow caution tape that Kim famously wore as her outfit back in March. But take a look at the yellow tape in the photo again. Balenciaga is misspelled with 2 A's, showing the word Baal. And in Christian demonology, Baal is one of the 7 princes of hell and the primary enemy of the Hebrew god. Another campaign that Balenciaga recently did for their collaboration with Adidas showed the new Balenciaga and Adidas Hourglass handbag resting on a table covered by some papers. But these weren't just any papers. They were actually the court papers from the 2008 Supreme Court case, United States versus Williams.
One note about that court case. I mean, there are no mistakes here, right? Nobody's putting things like that in an ad because it's a mistake. Part of that Adidas bag ad, you'll see scattered pieces of paper, but one of the papers was talking about a court case, which was US versus Williams. And the court actually upheld federal laws criminalizing distributing child pornography. So the judge upheld the right thing and the case was lost. But why would you put a case like that in there? Well, we know why. They want you to know that they are a company of child predators, or they think that this is okay. There's more.
One recently deleted photo Balenciaga shared on their Instagram feed showed a redhead woman sitting in an office chair with her feet on the desk. At first glance, there's nothing weird or creepy about this photo. It just looks like any high-end fashion campaign. But let's zoom in on the pile of books in the background. One of the books is Fire from the Sun by Belgian painter and filmmaker Michael Bormans. Now, listen to how David Zwirner Books, the publisher of Fire from the Sun, describes this book on their official website. Fire from the Sun highlights Michael Borman's new work, which features toddlers engaged in playful but mysterious acts with sinister overtones and insinuations of violence.
Well, that's okay.
The description further states that Borman's art often surprises and sometimes disturbs the viewer. And then when you Google Borman's paintings from the Fire from the Sun, the whole thing gets even creepier.
Ugh.
So again, why would Balenciaga include this specific book in the same campaign featuring court papers from the Supreme Court ruling?
Because they're trying to tell you something.
Children. There are so many disturbing details about Balenciaga, and it just gets creepier and creepier the deeper you go. Balenciaga also issued a statement apologizing for their recent campaign featuring children, and blamed it all on the photographer who shot the campaign, Gabriele Galimberti. We sincerely apologize for any offense our holiday.
Okay, so a couple of things there. They're littering these little things throughout their ad campaigns, and everybody knows these things don't just show up by accident. These are all deliberate because they are showing you who they are. There are no mistakes. Nobody here is making any mistakes. But when you get busted and there's this huge backlash, then you got to come up with some bullshit reason as how you're going to wiggle your way out of it. But everybody can see through all this. Now, having children, with holding bags where the teddy bear's eyes look bruised and they're in bondage gear, and there's dog collars on the table, and there's empty wine glasses, and there it looks like there's some sort of weird tea party that they're having, but everything has adult stuff in it. That whole teddy bear bag is gross. You're an adult and you want to have a bag like that. Okay, have a bag like that. But who are you? You're advertising this for children, or you're advertising this with children? And one of the pictures I hated the most was the picture of the girl laying down on her stomach with her head on the pillow, looking at the camera. I mean, she's looking at the camera in this sort of come hither type of look. No, no. And she looks vulnerable, because she's down on her stomach and looking at the camera. No. No, like, and she's almost looking like, here I am. I'm placed here like this, ready for whatever evil is gonna take me over. I mean, that's just how she looks. And everybody in the room, every adult in the room had to say to her, okay, so lay down here and put your head on the pillow and just look at the camera. So she's being absolutely objectified and sort of, but she doesn't even know it. She's bloody like 3 or 4 years old. And when she grows up, she'll figure this out. But she's already being objectified because people aren't thinking, or maybe they are thinking, but they just want the paycheck that they're going to get from the photo shoot, or the parents want it or something. So this is absolutely reprehensible. Now, one of their stylists, her name is Lotta Volkova, and anybody who's been following this story has already seen this picture, but I'll show it to you. So this is Lotta. This is what she looks like. Ugh, God. And this is like her in some on a runway with whatever the hell this is supposed to be. What are you supposed to make of that? Oh my God, it's just the creepiest thing. You've got babies drenched in blood. We are getting more and more depraved in society, and it just made me think of the bigger picture of of a of sort of elites kind of running the show with depravity, but putting it all out there. And it is really up to the citizens of the world to pick up on this. But because we've been so brain dead and brainwashed for so long, people are slow to pick up on this or put any meaning into anything. I guess the main thing that I want to say about all this stuff is that well, quite frankly, now we have to worry about Satan, like Satanists. We got like so many other problems in the world. Now we got to battle the devil, like the devil. But I think that this is permeating right now through society more than we know. The devil shows you who he is. The devil is showing you. These people are showing you who they are. They are deliberately placing this type of depraved, dangerous, heathenistic and hedonistic stuff in their ads. So you can choose whether you want to, buy this product or not. But to be honest, most normal people don't buy this kind of stuff. I certainly don't. I don't even have Lululemon pants. I get excited when I get a good Joe Fresh sweater or something like that. So I'm not really going around buying Balenciaga. It made me think that there's a system in place that I'm not really even aware of, and it made me sort of think about other machines. And somewhere I watched this video just yesterday, and this was about celebrities. And the reason I bring this up is because I currently work with somebody who told me a couple of months ago, he was like, I think the world is kind of run by Satanists. And I was like, okay, tell me more. And he goes, I feel crazy. I feel crazy saying this. I understand that you can go down a weird rabbit hole. And I said, yes, like I totally understand this. And he was showing me pictures of celebrities with this other kind of weird woman that reminds me of that Lotta woman. I don't know who this was, but she was connected to all these celebrities. And you could say, well, maybe these are all photoshopped pictures. I don't know, but they looked like sort of real pictures of celebrities hanging out with this very strange looking woman who's almost like a celebrity handler. She just sort of almost looked like a person that takes a celebrity and melds into their life and tells them what to do. And he works like is really in line with management to these big sort of, Hollywood conglomerates or what have you. And so he was showing me a picture, this guy I work with, quite a few pictures of these A-list celebrities with this witchy looking woman. And they were at a party and there was a cake at the party, but the cake was a, a woman, like a life-size woman with blood all over her, like with frosting, but it looked like gelatinous blood, just like that picture that I showed you. And there was an A-list celebrity I saw in that picture just looking down at the cake. Now, I'm not saying that he thinks that that is okay. He just happened to be there at the party, but I don't go to parties that have cakes like that, like what is that? What is that type of shit? And then it started to make me think of something else. In this, so like I was saying, I watched this documentary, and in it there was Michael Jackson, and he was saying Sony, because he owned half of Sony Records, and he was saying that Tommy Mottola is evil. Tommy Mottola is an evil person, that he's devilish. And then, I don't know, like as the years go by, then all of a sudden Michael Jackson is dead. Did he want to die? Was it that propofol accident that the media has told us? Now that I have seen the media machine lie the way they have, like so fast and furious, do we believe that story? I don't know. Like, I don't know. And then, Tommy Mottola was married to Mariah Carey. And apparently Mariah Carey went running to Michael Jackson, unhappy with Tommy. And then all of a sudden you see Mariah Carey in the media. And then they portray her as going nuts or becoming unhinged or whatever. But luckily, she's alive. And then you see other artists, like you'll see Prince. And Prince always, he created his own music. He did it in his studio. And he wanted to have more autonomy and sort of more probably financial control over his own music. And so he was always embattled with these kind of record companies, and then he changed his name to the Symbol and all that type of thing. And then you think, well, now Prince is dead. And also in this video, they were talking about Whitney Houston, and, yes, Whitney Houston, had her problems. She fell in with whatever. She was very in love with Bobby Brown, and they were drugging and whatever they were doing. And, and then they say that she died in the bathtub at age 48, face down in a bathtub. And then you think, well, is that story true? Am I supposed to believe anything? Like, what kind of, was she in any trouble? Did somebody want to off her? Did she have some secrets? Because then they had a friend in this documentary that said Whitney didn't like to take baths in hotel rooms, because she thought that it was dirty. So, well, she's staying in nice hotel rooms, but she taking a bath in a hotel room was not her thing. Okay, I don't know. That's just what the friend is saying. And then they had Brittany Murphy in the video. I don't know what she knew or what she was going to say. I don't know if people wanted to kill her. I just don't know. I just don't know. And they also showed a clip of John Lennon. And this was like ages. This is like, I think must have been 1978 or 79. And he was saying, I feel like the world is crazy. I feel like whatever's going on with like China and Russia, he was saying that back then. And he had very distinct political views, and he's gone. And Kennedy is gone. And anybody that speaks, MLK is shot. And then also in this video, Tupac is shot. And they blamed it on Suge Knight. And they featured Dave Chappelle in this. Maybe I'll find it and put a link in this. I mean, take it how you want to take it. I'm not saying this is the gospel truth, but I'm saying that these people control a lot more than you think. And when they want to call the press, make a phone call and say, you need to report this, the media will report that. And they can do that like that. So whatever spin they want to put on anything to make somebody think something about a celebrity, oh, they're a child molester like Michael Jackson, whatever they were saying about him, they're off their rocker. We will just come to believe that, or we will just never know the truth of what happened. Oh, Prince died in an elevator. Well, did he? The media can just tell you whatever bullshit story they want, as we've all seen, as I have seen. They can just do that because the people that fund all this stuff, they have all the power. And what are they on about? Like, are they all like, I'm not saying they're all Satanists, but there's some huge corrupt, immoral thread running through all of this. And there's actually like a guy called Andrew Tate, who did a really good a video on this, which I will get to.
Encourage it. Normalize. And that is the case. That is what they're trying to do. But it actually goes a level deeper than that. Satanists, people who worship Satan, believe in karmic retribution. They believe that they can suffer the consequence of lying and tricking you. So the very simple premise is this. If I sell poison apples and I write apples and you come and eat one, I poisoned you. But if I sell poison apples and I have a sign that says apples, they're poison, and you come and eat one, you committed suicide. I haven't murdered you. You've committed suicide.
That's what Satanists believe.
Satanists believe by telling you what they're doing, they don't have any karmic retribution. I'm not responsible for the I'm not responsible for all the negative fallout from my actions if they understood what I was doing and allowed me to do it. This is why they show you and tell you what they're doing. If I show you and tell you that we are pedophiles and you continue to buy our products, then you're supporting pedophilia. And you're obviously okay with us being pedophiles. If I do it hidden behind your back, then you can argue and say, I didn't know they were pedophiles. But by showing you, I've shown you I'm a pedophile. You still want to wear my t-shirt. So obviously what I'm doing is okay. And this karmic retribution model and the way that Satanists view the world, and when I say Satanists, I genuinely mean people who worship real Satan. The people who are in charge of these brands and in charge of the Western world and in charge of the Matrix genuinely worship Satan. When you understand the idea of karmic retribution, you can apply that to so many scenarios. They're doing this with everything. Karmic retribution isn't just about Balenciaga.
Yeah, I really agree with a lot of that, like this whole poison apple. I mean, I don't even know who that guy is. I only just heard of him the other day. I think he's an MMA guy and he was banned off of Twitter. But he makes an excellent point. They're telling you who they are. They're showing you. They like to model kids with teddy bears with black eyes and dog collars and with all this BDSM imagery. Okay, Balenciaga is telling you that. And this Hollywood world, who have been very quiet about this, why are you so damn quiet? So, like if you bought a pair of shoes from them or an evening gown or something, put it on fire, throw it in the garbage it up and put that out there. Like, what are you so scared of that you can't put that, you can't say, you know what, I denounce this company for this disgusting imagery they have. Here's the tie-in to what I think is going on in the world, that we don't really know anything. Like, we think we know the story. I think even the people bringing you the story, I have seen that firsthand. They don't even know the fucking story. They don't know what they are. They know nothing. I literally learned that they either know nothing and they believe the narrative, or they know and they're hiding the narrative. That is what I saw in the newsroom. And it's my word against theirs, but I'm not a liar. But anyway, I digress. So this brings me back to what's going on. A lot of times we hear about this sort of evil cabal taking over the world, and it's just like a few people that control all of us. And I think they're really tightening the screw really hard, so fast and furious lately, is because they have some sort of agenda, this 2030 agenda that people talk about. I mean, and that's what I want to sort of convey in this video. The world is telling you this, whoever these people are trying to push you down and make sure that you get fired, they're telling you, they told you what they did. And this just reminded me of Event 201. Now, Event 201, if you don't know what that is, for God's sake, look the damn thing up, for crying out loud. It was done in October 2019, and it was basically just like a high-level pandemic tabletop exercise, right? It's sort of like, here's what would happen if there was a pandemic. And so they did these fake newscasts where they're like, we're running out of PPE, we're running out of masks, and they were sort of saying, the world is going to be in jeopardy unless we get some sort of poison apple to save everybody. And they were sort of doing this sort of 3.5 hour simulation on a pandemic and how that the world would handle this pandemic. It was play acting the pandemic, but when you watch it, it's very hard to tell whether it's fake or real. You don't know what you're looking at, but that's what they did. And then lo and behold, friggin' at the end of not even but 2 months later, pandemic. They told you, they showed you, they told you they were going to do it, and they did it. They're laughing at you. They're just almost like laughing at you, like, we told you this was coming. You didn't believe us. So this whole karmic retribution or whatever they're talking about, when somebody evil puts it out there for you and you still eat it up, they can say, look, I told you, but you came to me anyway. You followed along anyway. I already told you. And so one more thing about Event 201, for anybody that doesn't know what this is, when you look at it, here it is talking about it a little bit and going, what's the purpose of it? In recent years, the world has seen growing number of epidemic events. Yeah, well, some natural, some unnatural. And looky here. Look who funded this. Okay, the Bloomberg School of Public Health, the World Economic Forum, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations are people pouring money into stuff like that. This is why this is important, because the devil is telling you what he's doing. Are you going to follow the devil, or are you going to listen to the right path? And it just also the evil is showing itself. And I feel like that this sort of Balenciaga depraved, satanic, disgusting imagery that these people participate in, like the ads were pretty awful. I wouldn't even say they're provocative. I would say they were abusive. But that Lotta, what's her name, Valkova and all that stuff, this kind of satanic imagery, what the hell is going on with that? I really don't know. Sometimes you hear Mel Gibson talk about that. I don't know the God's honest truth. I just know, because I've had people tell me this, people that I talk to and trust, that the devil shows himself. Are you going to follow the devil, or are you going to beat the devil? And what is your threshold for evil? So that's kind of my take on this Balenciaga situation. This is sort of tipped a bucket for me. Again, I feel very funny when I say this, but please, if you like and subscribe and share, that's wonderful. Whether it's on YouTube, which I keep getting kicked off of, or whether it's on Rumble or wherever I'm going to pop up next. If Trudeau has his way, I'm going to pop up nowhere, right? So that helps a lot. And please check out the links in the description if you want to help me out. And I really thank you for your time and for watching this video today. And peace. Okay. Bye-bye.